takes a lot of passion. I mean, seriously, you're talking about the fact that, it's not you're a physicist and then change the trajectory of your career, but also on this panel, we have entrepreneurs, we have medical professionals, and all of you, art and architect, like you had to have an extreme amount of passion to do this work, to actually then take up, this service. And I'm wondering if you could talk about that, like what inspired this drive, this desire to not only learn these teachings for yourself, but then bring it out to everyone else. Like, why would you do that?
Well, my own personal journey started way back. I was practicing as a family doctor for nearly 20 years, actually, 25 years if I add all of those years up. Part of me was really interested in knowing what was the true essence of healing. I felt that my prescription pad only went through so far. And I still work in medicine, in palliative medicine, but when I came to the mystery school, it took me on an incredible journey of understanding who we are as divine beings. As a doctor, I was advising people, I was putting people into a specific diagnostic strategy. I was giving them, if you do this, this will happen. If you do that, that will happen. And while that served a purpose, it didn't get to maybe the original cause of the disease for me. I wanted to get to the sense of empowerment for the person themselves to understand where their role was in their own healing. And when I came to the school, when I studied in Healers Academy, I had this incredible series of realizations about myself and about my own life. And the whole school is based on the premise that we know ourselves. And the insights that I personally got, I knew that when I went back into my own life and I brought that back into my everyday life, it was as if, things that had bothered me so much before I came to the school were suddenly, like we have a saying in Ireland, like water off a duck's back. It just washed away. And I was able to engage with my life at a completely different level. And when I saw this for myself, I was determined to bring this to others. I wanted to study more so that I could impart this to others. And I think it was that brought me to that sense of wanting to be part of a teaching panel. And then that brought me into a more leadership role. And it was through that I met Founder Goodney, Ipsissimus Dave, and Ipsissimus Hideto. And I know your question about relating to them as a Divina, when I first met Founder Goodney, I remember it was in Ireland in 2006, and he was part of the Healers panel at that time. So now it is, each one of us are part of that panel, and Founder Goodney is more in Japan, and we travel to him for our teaching. So I feel very privileged in that I saw him at the stage that many of us are at now in our training and in our bringing that forward to the general public. But yes, I have seen the journey that each of these gentlemen is on and has been on. And I honor that so much about them, because I have been privileged enough to see the struggles that they have gone through in order to be who they are in the world today. An example of pure service.